August 6, 1945. Hiroshima is vaporized. 3 days later, Nagasaki. 2 flashes. 2 cities gone. Over 200,000 people dead. And history is forever divided into before and after. The atomic bomb wasn't just a weapon. It was a warning. A line no nation has crossed since. But why did the United States become the only country to ever use it in war? Why not the Soviet Union? Or China? Or any other nuclear power? What made America the first, and the last, to press that button? To understand, we have to go back to the final, desperate months of World War II. Japan was losing. But it wasn't surrendering. Even after devastating firebombings, like Tokyo, where over 80,000 people died in a single night, Japan kept fighting. Kamikaze pilots were slamming into US ships. And on islands like Okinawa, entire civilian populations were dying with their military. The planned US invasion of Japan, Operation Downfall, was expected to be a bloodbath. American generals estimated over 1 million US casualties, and possibly millions of Japanese deaths. President Harry Truman, just months into office, was told he had one alternative. A new weapon. Something born in secret labs under the name, the Manhattan Project. The atomic bomb had just been tested in the New Mexico desert. The result? A city-leveling explosion. A man-made sun. The power of 15,000 tons of TNT, contained in a bomb the size of a car engine. Truman had a choice. Use it, or risk endless war. But there were other voices, scientists like Leo Szilard, who urged Truman to show the bomb to Japan first. Let them see its power without using it on civilians. A demonstration on an uninhabited island. But US military advisors warned, what if the demonstration failed? What if Japan refused to surrender even after seeing it? What if the Soviets beat them to using their own bomb? In the end, the decision was made. Not just to end the war, but to shape the world after it. You see, the Soviets had promised to enter the war against Japan in August. The US didn't want to share the Pacific. If America dropped the bomb and ended the war before the Soviets arrived, they could dictate the peace and the future. So Hiroshima was chosen. Not just for its military value, but because it was untouched. It would show the bomb's true power. On August 6, the Enola Gay dropped little boy. In seconds, over 70,000 people were dead. By the end of the year, over 140,000. Japan still didn't surrender. So on August 9, a second bomb, Fat Man, was dropped on Nagasaki. Another 70,000 lives lost. This time, it worked. Japan surrendered. The war was over. But a new era had begun. No other nation has ever used nuclear weapons in combat, not once in nearly 80 years. Not during the Cold War. Not during Korea. Not during Vietnam. Not even in the face of nuclear threats from rivals. Why? Because Hiroshima and Nagasaki weren't just bombings. They were warnings to all of humanity. Proof that crossing the nuclear line means unleashing something far beyond war. It means mass extinction. So why was the US the only one? Because they had the bomb first. Because they believed it would save lives. Because they wanted to send a message to Japan, to the Soviets, and to the world. And because the horror they unleashed became the very reason no one ever did it again. At TriviaTales, we ask the questions that echo through history. And this one still haunts the modern world. Was victory worth the price of 1,000 suns?